Have the Dragon Balls ruined Dragon Ball? What do you think? First thoughts.
I would say, to be honest, yes, to a degree. I think they've become very much a crutch.
Hmm.
I think Team Four Star summed it up best in the Cell Saga when Goku sacrifices himself when Cell's exploding. Gohan has this horrible moment of crying, saying he's screwed everyone. It's his fault that his dad's dead because he wanted to show off. And then Krillin just walks up behind him, puts his hand on his arm, and says, "Dragon Balls." And it just takes everything away from it because there's just no consequences.
Yep.
And to a degree, as long as they win, yeah, it's just everybody comes back. Even the original Dragon Balls, where you could only have one person come back to life, not the Namekian ones.
Yeah.
So
I
they
mean,
just change it as you go.
yeah, these are exactly my thoughts as well. Like, there's no consequence to death. Like, if someone dies, there's no impact. And can you even say it's a shock anymore? Like when people first started dying, it's like, oh, is this character actually gone forever? And now, if someone dies, it's like, they'll be back soon. Don't worry about it. It's like they've really killed any impact that can happen with death in the show, which is a really bad thing, to be honest, because there's so many side characters now, like all the ZU warriors and everything, and everyone else who's a side character, that if literally any of them died, is it even gonna make an impact anymore? I
Yeah,
don't think it would.
I mean, when I look at it, it's like the initial shock of somebody dying
Hmm.
is there, but the second you've had a minute to process it, you're like, oh, I shouldn't really be worried my favorite character's died because I just get them to come back. And now with the Super Dragon Balls,
Yeah.
it's like anything that was remotely cut off through the limited powers of Shenron, um, or even less so.
Yeah. Like
So
so many people have died now. At the start of throughout all of Dragon Ball, the only person who comes back is Krillin when he dies. So it's like, okay, that was still a giant impact. We talked about it last episode, Krillin's death. Um, but like this time, like in at the start of Z, when Goku dies, that's a big. It's the main character, and you're thinking the main character's died in the first few episodes of the show. All right, why? What's gonna happen now? Will they bring him back? And then after that point, I don't think there's really been a mega impactful death where you're thinking, oh, is he really gone forever? Because everyone comes back all the time, every time.
yeah, I think if they'd kept it safe and they'd left it at you can have a revival, but you get one,
Hmm.
and they hadn't put in this clause within the Magnum ones where you can do multiple revives and things like that. It cheapens it.
Hmm.
And now, like I say, they put the Super Dragon Balls in, which is just cheapened it even more. It's
Yeah,
just very easy.
yeah.
Um, and it's
Uh,
like everyone's distraught when something horrible happens, and it's like you could literally go, mate, Dragon Balls, it's fine.
just summon the
don't
dragon.
don't
It's
worry
fine.
about it.
Yeah, like exactly. You put the nail in the head. Like there is too many sets of Dragon Balls. It's like it started off with just Earth's Dragon Balls, and there was limitations. You're like, oh, okay, well they can't do that. And I was like, yeah, but actually, there's these other Dragon Balls on Namek, which are even more powerful. And it's like, oh, okay, let's go get them. And then there's even more because when they come back to Earth and the other ones are destroyed, Dende makes new ones with new limitations, and he gives them an extra wish instead of just one. There's now two wishes. And it's like, okay, so these Dragon Balls are even stronger now. There's the Black Star Dragon Balls in GT. There's the Super Dragon Balls, and there's the Planet Cereal Balls from the Dragon Ball Super manga, which I didn't know about. I had to research them, but there's them Dragon Balls as well. And it's like every time there's a limitation, it's just like, oh, but there's these other Dragon Balls that are even more powerful. So why do they keep bringing more and more different Dragon Balls? They don't need that many. Just have limitations. It's fine. Make the story go around the limitations. That would be better.
I also don't feel the characters seem to appreciate the abilities of these Dragon Balls. So
Hmm.
we know as the viewer like how ridiculously powerful these things are,
Hmm.
and No one else in the show seems to. Anybody whatsoever. Like Bulma kind of collects them pretty much every few years, so she can be 5 years younger. Is it?
Yeah,
So she's basically kind of asking for immortality.
yeah.
And then you've got Zamasu in Super, who just chill as he likes, goes, finds out where they are, and collects them.
Hmm.
You'd think the Super Dragon Balls, the angels would be all over controlling them. If they're as powerful as it's made out, like the angels would control them constantly. Zamasu wouldn't just be able to chill, or even the gods of destruction would be controlling them
Hmm.
because of the magnitude of their power, because they're their weakness, basically. And technically, Zamasu proves that.
Yeah.
So why? So he just lets them float off, and Zamasu just goes and gets them as he wishes. And yeah, it's like they're ridiculously overpowered and ridiculously underappreciated. Like 18 and 17 getting their bombs wished out of them by Krillin. Literally, Bulma could do that. She did it with 16.
Yeah.
So why? Like, it got my wife, fair enough, but it's overpowered and underappreciated, which is just two things that should not come together.
Yeah, I don't even think it's just the characters that underappreciate. I think it's the entire show has kind of forgot about it. The show is called Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, and
Yeah.
they don't even focus on them anymore. Like, they don't even show you them collecting them anymore. It's just all of a sudden, oh, we've got the 7 Dragon Balls. Let's make a wish. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
it was like a raffle. It was a raffle in the Beerus arc. Or
Yeah,
something.
it was Bulma's birthday party. She was doing the bingo thing, and the top prize was the Dragon Balls. And it's like, well, hold on. The show's called Dragon Ball. How did you get them all so quick? What did you need to do? Was there any problems? It's just like, they don't even care about the Dragon Balls anymore. They're just a side thing. It doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, they grant wishes, which is great, but it used to be like, oh, we've got to go around the world and fight this bad guy and this bad guy who just happens to have one. And now it's just like, yeah, give me like a week and I'll find all 7 with the Dragon Radar, and here's your wish.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, the way I look at it is, it's quite the entire reasoning behind the Frieza saga was that Frieza was trying to get the Dragon Balls to make himself immortal.
Mm-hmm.
The Resurrection F saga, pain. Yeah, they literally, his minions went and collected them, and literally they just got them. Like, they literally did exactly what Frieza tried to do throughout the entire Namek saga.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Frieza saga, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
And I know that's probably poor writing on part of the Resurrection saga, which a lot of people say, but still, it undermines the entirety of Dragon Ball.
It does.
Through that one of the most pivotal sagas in the entirety of Dragon Ball is wholly undermined by that arc. And I think it was used best by the Demon King Piccolo stuff, where he wanted to be a part of his prime, where it's like he used it to do something powerful and impactful to get himself back in his prime. And that was it. Like, he didn't become immortal, and he didn't do what Zamasu did, basically. He didn't go that ridiculous step too far. So it limited their power.
Yeah.
And he even destroyed Dragon after that. He destroyed.
Which was insane. Like, he used the Dragon Balls to get his wish, and then he kills the dragon. It's like, oh, I see. So now there's going to be consequences? Is that right? Oh, wait. No, there's not. No, there's not. Just give it a little while. There won't be any consequences.
I mean, I was watching some clips of stuff today because I knew we were going to talk about this, obviously. And I looked up during the Beerus Battle of Gods when they summon Shenron to find out how to get a Super Saiyan God, and Shenron finds Beerus, obviously, and he's saying that I can tell you how they can become a god. I can tell you how to do that, but I can't make you a god. That feels like a limitation. So that was I found that interesting. Yeah. But then you find out later about the Super Dragon Balls, and it's like, I could probably like wish to be constantly Ultra Instinct if I wanted to be. Yeah. Or Ultra Instinct times 10, or these ridiculous things that don't exist. But Super Dragon Balls are so almighty powerful that they could probably make it exist.
I can't really remember how they work, but is it what happens after the wish is made? Do they? I can't remember what happens to the balls. Do they go away for a year?
They turn into rocks, ping up, disappear, and just go randomly. Oh, do you mean the Super Dragon Balls?
Yeah, the Super Dragon Balls.
I think they disperse as well. Pretty
Across the
sure.
universe.
Because Zamasu had to go and find them all.
Right. Because they're like planet sized. So.
Yeah, he used his Kai powers once he knew where they were to just go collect them.
Yeah.
Because he's basically got instant transmission.
Yeah.
But better.
But better.
I think that's right. Yeah, he's and he just basically went and collected them all.
Yeah.
Which is just insane to me. The more I think about it, the more ridiculous it seems that all the divinity would just ignore something so powerful. That I mean, and also one of the most annoying things about Super is summoning of the Super Dragon Balls. It is so unnecessary to do that peas and carrots thing.
Yeah,
on the end.
I get that it's technically a kids show and everything, but I mean, yeah.
But to be honest, it's Super. I mean, I think they tried to up Super a bit, like with the language and stuff like that, because obviously you've got a bit of swearing and stuff. But it's like still, it's like it's finding that mid demographic, like
yeah, they've got good comedy stuff.
Like, even for some younger, like if you've got teens, like even they would find that really, basically, I hate to use this word, but cringeworthy.
Yeah, because they do have good comedy bits in it, but I thought this was just a bit annoying with the whole peas and carrots stuff.
Like I think they were doing quite well with like the new Vegeta interactions, where it's like where Bulma and they're having the lovers quarrel, and he's just like, "Yeah, sure, fine, babe." When he tried to find out where Beerus is when he meets Whis again, it's like stuff like that is quite witty and interesting and stuff you would never hear from Vegeta, and like it's developed them as more people. So it's like it's not these amazing things; it's just smaller things where they're quite funny. Yeah, it just feels like cheap, and it's just. And it was quite an important part of the actual show, summoning the Super Dragon Balls, and then they're saying peas and carrots, and it's like,
why?
Yeah.
Why did they make it be this way? It didn't need to be. I want to touch up on a point that you mentioned a little bit earlier, that Bulma uses them to look 5 years younger, which it does. And that's another thing, like the Pilaf gang also use them to literally be younger. And the Dragon Balls at this point, they can bring people back to life, and they can wish multiple people back to life because they brought the entire planet Earth back from the dead all at once. So it's like if literally any Dragon Ball character dies, they can bring them back to life, turn them back into kids, and just keep the cycle going. All of these characters can live forever as long as they've got the Dragon Balls, because all they need to do is age themselves down and bring them back to life if they do die somehow. There's no consequence. The only thing that happens if they die is they get a quick visit to King Kai, see how he's doing for a little while, and then that's it. Back to Earth they go. Back to living their life.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're just overthinking it," and things like that, and it's like, are you though? I mean, it's a very heavy plot device that kind of, if you even give it a moment's thought, it cheapens it.
Yeah, because the show
it's like there's always taking something with a pinch of salt and just kind of artistic license and stuff like that, and then there's just like, didn't worry about it. It's fine.
Because the show is based around him. That's the whole point. The original Dragon Ball, Goku starts with the 4-star ball, and he's going around trying to look for the other balls and all that stuff. In Z, similar thing again. They look for the balls a few times, and that's all great. But now they are an afterthought, and they don't matter anymore because there's so many different types and they're all powerful. And for the most part, they don't even need them anymore. It's like they only use them in extreme circumstances, but it's like these extreme circumstances, they need to keep one-upping themselves, which is why the Super Dragon Balls are a thing, because that'll bring universes back from the dead. And it's like, okay, so the next wish, what is that going to be?
I wonder if Shenron could have done that, or if that's too much beyond him.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt he could bring a universe back.
Never mind. Like, how many was it in total?
Six, I
Thank
think.
you. Yeah, something like
No,
that.
five. Was there six universes in the Tournament of Power? I think, or was it eight? There was six or eight. Might be an eight.
Yeah, but plus he's going against what basically Xeno did. You
Mm.
probably can't reverse the power of Xeno.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because he was also scared of Beerus when he seen Beerus. He was like, oh, Beerus, okay. Oh, you're here as well. Oh, okay. It's like,
um,
where does Shenron rank in the in the like scale of things?
hierarchy of
You would think
yeah, 'cause
that like
he's not a god, is he?
no, but you would
Um,
think Shenron, since he's a wish granting dragon, he would be
mhm,
like above most characters because he can do
yeah.
more stuff than pretty much any of them.
But
It's
I suppose
interesting.
he could. Beerus is literally a destroyer.
Yeah,
It's his job. He
yeah,
destroys planets like it's nothing.
true.
If Demon King Piccolo can wipe him out with a beam,
Mm,
like Beerus could just drop an easy Hakai, and
that's true. That's true.
that would pretty much be it.
Yeah.
Um,
The one thing I liked about GT was the Shadow Dragons and how their Dragon Balls work. Because the whole thing was like, oh, every time you grant a wish, there's positive and negative energy that's released. Like every time
yeah,
a wish is granted. And if you use them too much, then the negative energy builds up and up and up. And then that's how the Shadow Dragons were formed. And that makes sense. It gives you a reason to not overuse the Dragon Balls and to make them feel like there's an actual consequence or a reason not to use them, because it's like, okay, we can bring Krillin back from the dead for the 12th time, but if we do that, then there's going to be these demons that appear from the Dragon Balls that are going to try and wipe out Earth. Should we try it? Or should we leave it a few years, make sure they cool down properly? It's like, imagine
Dragon Balls are
it.
cool.
Yeah, like imagine if, because that's what happened. They use them too often, and that's why the dragons were formed. It's like, imagine, like, let's say Krillin does die again. It's like, okay, we can bring him back straight away, but then there's going to be these demons. Otherwise, we need to just wait like 10 years before the Dragon Balls cool down enough for no bad to happen.
Yeah,
Is it worth it? Krillin won't see his daughter grow up. He won't see his wife. He'll be stuck dead for 10 years. Will he even want to become back alive after 10 years? That type of thing. There's an actual consequence for using them then, but there is none.
or another thing you could do is the more powerful the wish, the longer the cooldown.
Yeah.
So,
That as
like,
well.
you get what is a typical year
Yeah.
of the typical wishes of Shenron?
Mhm.
Well, let's say you're bringing someone back for the 10th time. It takes 10 times as long as it would, so it's 10 years, or something like that. Or if you bring back an entire planet, then you have to wait like 50 years or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like you have to seriously think about your wish because they're out of commission for a long time after that. Basically, a lifetime almost.
Yeah, it's
I think,
hard to rank though, because like some of the wishes that have been granted was like Oolong wishing for women's panties. It's like, okay, well that's gonna be a year for that. And then there was Shu from the Pilaf gang who wished for 1,000,000 zenny. And I was like, well, you could have wished for 1 billion, but okay, 1 million, that's fine. That's a year cooldown. But like, if there was a person who said, I want all the money in the world, does that still count for like 1 year, or is that like a 10-year thing? And then you've got to kind of
that's the
scale.
thing. It could scale like with the oolong thing. It could literally do like a day cooldown.
Yeah.
Like however much it taxes the dragon is
Mm.
however much they need to rest.
Yeah.
But then again, look at the Super Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to tax them.
No, exactly. Like you've literally got a wish for anything ever. But I do like your point. We'll kind of brush over it and didn't mention it much. But you said that why hasn't someone stepped in to kind of protect the Dragon Ball since there's so many bad guys going after them? And yeah, I agree. Like they brought Frieza back to life. King Piccolo wished to be like in his prime, which he could have wished for immortality, but he didn't. Frieza's tried to wish for immortality. Zamasu did wish for immortality, and it's like anyone could find these Dragon Balls and wish for immortality or wish to destroy planets or literally anything. It's like, why isn't anyone around to kind of protect them? You know, it's
Yeah.
literally up to Bulma. Because she's the
I
one who
think
usually goes
that's
getting
the
them now. So it's like, well, hold on. I know someone could find them, but I feel like there should be like some godly team around, like gods who are protectors of the Dragon Balls to prevent people from getting wishes like this. But there's just no one. Everyone knows about these wish granting dragons and stuff, and it's like, whoever finds all of them, they deserve it, no matter the consequence. No one even cares.
Yeah, because you'd think that Whis at least would have reported back the Zamasu incident,
Hmm.
considering Zamasu killed all the gods.
Yeah.
Basically, he he broke the rules. It's flat and simple.
You broke the
Of God.
rules.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like they don't care about morals. Yeah, Varys and that will just knock someone out. Whis wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
It's clear through the Battle of Gods arc, but Zamazu killed Kais. He's gone after gods, and you think Whis would have reported that back to say, look, he abused the Super Dragon Balls. We
Yeah.
can't let that happen again.
Exactly.
We were lucky that some mortals managed to fix it. Well, actually, no, they didn't. Zenny fixed it.
That's true.
So you'd think that, like, the Grandmaster,
Yeah.
what's he called? The
Grandmaster.
Angel? Yeah. Yeah. You'd think that at least he would recognize the fact that someone had to involve Xeno to resolve what the Super Dragon Balls did. He seems like an organized chap, so you think
exactly.
But literally, the next time you see the Super Dragon Ball like that, they've just collected them for another prize. Like,
Yeah.
there's no indication that they've collected them for safety purposes. There's no indication that they're going to go after them now that the wish has been made. It's
Exactly.
like they've let gods be slaughtered and they just don't care, which is just strange.
Yeah, especially since there's some new bad guy that appears every few years in the Dragon Ball universe. You would think they would realize, okay, well, there's a lot of bad guys in the world. Well, not even the world, in the universe. You know, they're more than likely will find out about these Dragon Balls that grant them any wish. We should make some sort of team to protect them. Even if imagine there could be like a protector for each individual Dragon Ball, and that could be an entire saga. Imagine if the gang, the main gang, was all like, okay, let's get the Dragon Balls again. But this time there was like a boss fight for each Dragon Ball against some sort of god or some sort of protector. That would be huge, and I think that would be interesting because it's like, all right, it's no longer easy to grant a wish. We've got to do all of these different things, all these different tasks. Yeah.
Even if they don't have to fight, even if they just have to prove that they're worthy of receiving the Dragon
exactly.
Ball, and that their intentions are pure and they're not just like, I think it was like the Shadow Dragons were saying that the Dragon Balls, like you said about the energy, like there's something to be revered and they're not just supposed to be abused for petty matters. Proving that you need it for legitimate reasons or you have good intentions to use it would at least give them some gravitas again. I think literally they should be locked behind godhood, like the angels or whatever, and there should be damn good reasons for using it. And if they wanted to use it for the Tournament of Power, well, they're the ones that control them, so they're not in any risk or danger, because you're not going to be able to steal them off the angels.
Exactly.
You have to be hella powerful to do that. So they can use them for a little bit of frivolousness, but then they can immediately get them back and protect them. And I think that sort of thing would be much more powerful, because I mean, the way it's scaled, like the start of Dragon Ball Z is where it's scaled. Basically, it's like Raditz heard, then Vegeta and Nappa heard, then Frieza knew. It scaled so quickly. And basically it's just not stopped since then, other than Cell and Boo, who just don't care. But yeah, it's just scaled too quickly. Even though it's been years and hundreds of episodes, it's still too quick. It's gone from one guy asking to be in his prime to and someone getting and Krillin come back to life to entire universe is coming back at a shrug. Like it's too much.
I know, and it is too late for them to kind of fix the problem at this point. I don't think it will ever be fixed. If there is another show coming, or if they do it in the manga or whatever, I don't think this problem with the Dragon Balls will ever be fixed. It's always going to be an issue. There's always going to be so many different Dragon Balls that can be used that do different things, and there's no consequences unless they do something like they did in GT, which would be good to see, but I doubt it.
Well, if I remember rightly, Zamasu did a Thanos, and he used the Super Dragon Balls to destroy the Super Dragon Balls, which is literally exactly what Thanos did. He used the stones to destroy the stones.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he did that, so no one could reverse it. Is that right? I'm sure he did.
Maybe in the different timeline.
In the other timeline, in the destroyed timeline.
Yeah.
But that really, they should do something like that. That a bad guy makes a wish, not for even if it is for immortality, although obviously they can't really go down that route because of Zamasu. But somebody getting what they want, or they feel, even if they feel that, like, to be honest, mix a bit of GT in there and say, like, there is a bad guy who believes that immortals are abusing their opportunities, and so they get the Super Dragon Balls and they wish to remove all Dragon Balls. And there is a way that obviously maybe we can get our old ones back, but then there's limited by his abilities and can only literally take it back to square one, where you get one person one time.
And
then it's a reset, and it's not completely implausible because there's precedent for it through Zamasu, because GT is not canon. So even though it has happened in GT, because it's not canon, you can't really look back on it and say that. But because of Zamasu doing it, you can. The Super Dragon Ball is more than powerful enough to destroy himself. So why wouldn't he be powerful enough to destroy all Dragon Balls?
Yeah, I would be completely fine with that. Like, they can because of power scale, and then every new villain that comes along is stronger than the last one, they can easily just make a villain who already knows is strong, can already beat everyone, and he's like, well, I can get the Dragon Balls just to make sure that no one else can use them because I feel strong enough already. There's no issues with strength. I can beat everyone who ever comes across my path. Let's just make sure that any consequences that happen, they can't undo them. Let's do that. And put it back to step one. I would like to see that. Yeah.
I think, like a similar principle. It could be like a pride thing or anything like that. It's just like, I think mortals should get strength of their own by themselves. They shouldn't use crutches such as immortality, and therefore I'll remove the opportunity for that immortality to be there, and I'll destroy them. So like, even if it's just not an arrogance thing, if it's just literally just their own morality of what they think how things should be, I think that would also be a good way to do it. But I think they could get rid of it, definitely, and I think they should definitely consider doing it. And then just do a basic reset to Dende, even Dende using the last of his power or something like that, and then he no longer has power, so they can no longer be created at all. These are the final Dragon Balls, and they have very limited power. And then you basically, like, then you have your consequences again, and I think that matters. But I think they've kind of gone lazy with it, and they're just gonna kind of hope people have gone along with it so far, so we don't need to.
I completely agree with everything you just said there. I think there should be a reset as well.